Tim?
Do you mind me?
Yeah, you can intro it, mate. Head coach, apparently.
No, you intro it.
Oh, fucking hell, this is off to a great start. Right, hello everyone. This is the newest and worst podcast to add to your library of podcasts, the Physique Pro podcast. Is that the name of it? Because I've
Triple
just
P.
triple P. Let's go. So the triple P podcast. Uh, Welcome. So we got the boys on, got me, Tim, Nick, and Ben. We're gonna try and do not no, we're not gonna try and do these weekly. We're gonna do these weekly Tuesday.
Yeah,
Shall I launch it tonight? We haven't got a YouTube channel yet, but I can give it a go.
I'll get Meg on it.
Yeah, get on it now. Yeah, shout for her now.
Meg?
So we're just gonna go through like random shit each week. Obviously, as show season hots up, we'll be doing show reviews, roast your physique on stage, that kind of vibe probably.
Mhm.
Do a Reese fit. Because they've stopped doing that, unfortunately. So that'd be good. Could take over from him.
Take
Uh,
over and kill some first timers online.
yeah, just destroy them. Do a top names and be like, all right, mate, just comment on the photo. If you want to get lean next time, just give me a call. It worked though.
It was, if you want to win overalls, just drop me a DM or something.
It worked though, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, they're going to get him lean now.
Well, we'll see this year.
He's looking good. He's fucking massive.
Fucking big cunt, isn't he?
Freak.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know what I'm about, Dan Talabi,
Yeah.
yeah, big future. The
What's his
future.
background? Because he's
That's what he's
big.
got, that's what he's got written on the back of his tops now. The future. He hasn't really. But what are you saying, Nick? Sorry.
What's his background? What nationality is he? Because he's obviously got some fucking something in him.
Hot nose. We'll ask him. We'll get him on the podcast. Dan, if you're listening, next guest. We just want to know where you're from. Podcast ended. We did say this is going to be the worst podcast ever. So, yeah, we'll be doing like coaching help. Basically, another podcast where we moan about how hard life is as an online coach. I'm just
You're
reading
just reading the
I'm just
note.
reading Meg's notes. Coaching help, shows reviews through the year, client updates, stories, experiences, and trending topics, etc. So we got Tim. You got topics for week one because you've been a cameo on someone's podcast apparently.
I have, yeah. I was on Joe Fazer's podcast earlier in the week.
How many of you?
Fucking
I
hell.
know Joe Fazer's YouTube video, which has got 650,000 views in 4 days or something.
Good inquiries off the back of it as well, isn't it?
Some really good inquiries. Yeah. Do you two know who Joe Fazer is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was dirty bulking or clean bulking was the topic. But we could go a little bit deeper into the benefits of a correct nutritional protocol with the client and why you would opt for clean over dirty bulking realistically.
Ben's quite a good advocate of this right now with what he's been going through the last couple of weeks.
So that was one of the topics I raised initially was digestion, Ben. So take it away of what you've
Well,
been.
what I would say though is he tried the dirty bulk in Bali and it didn't work out.
Didn't work out. Spent a week in my toilet.
With dirty water bowl.
I mean, like, obviously, if you're going with a dirty bulk, you're going to have no idea what's going on. I was experiencing issues with a clean bulk or proper nutrition setup. So if I'm experiencing issues with that, like when your food gets high, your digestion is going to be under stress, right? So whether it's clean or dirty, you're going to run into issues. Now, if you're just eating any random shit and it's also inflammatory, then it's going to be even worse. So it's a good idea to obviously have a proper nutritional setup. And I see this happen a lot when you put, your client's food on. And if they opt for macro tracking, they start to get carried away because calories get high and they get all excited. And then a couple of weeks down the line, they're like, why is my digestion fucked? Why do I feel terrible?
Do you know what
Then-
pisses me off the most? It's when they have an off-plan meal once a week and then that fucking kills their digestion for the next
Yeah.
4 days. And it's just a cycle every single week because they choose an off-plan meal that just screws them up.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean,
sense.
I've been having issues with like eggs
Yeah.
and cream of rice.
And I think people is like they just think that from a digestion standpoint, but it's going to impact everything. Like what I've actually noticed since get on top of my digestion is that the injuries that I was experiencing aren't as bad as they were. Now, obviously, I'm doing physio for them as well, but I definitely feel less inflamed. So
Yeah. And I remember Ben messaging me a few weeks and was just like, is my weight meant to be going up this fast? And then sorted out his digestion, his weight's coming down on the same amount of food. So it does show you for sure. And also someone else good to the party on digestion is Nick, because where do we get food carbs to in your off season? Like 1,300 and something.
1,500 on a high day.
Yeah, 1,500 on a high day. So go through a setup of what that actually looks like. Obviously, everyone's different in terms of the digestion stuff like that, and you can handle a lot of food, but getting that amount of food in is difficult for anyone.
It wasn't getting it in that was the issue. It's just making like the right choices, isn't it? And like not being a tip with it. Do you know what I mean? So I've not got access to shit like squares bars out here. Like they're very different to say the least. So it's like the usual go-tos that people go to will be like your squares bars, your rice cakes and honey. Like a caramel rice cake's what, an extra 5 grams carbs. So every 5 rice cakes you're having, you've got like an extra full 25 grams in. But like I found that actually just sticking to whole foods worked a lot better for me, just because it sat nicer, it digested better. Like the body was used to. I didn't change anything from Monday to Friday to Saturday to Sunday. It was 7 days a week, the exact same foods, just the volume that changed, and I could handle it. I'm quite lucky because I can handle like a high amount of rice and a high amount of like potatoes, or in Ben's case, some bread. Like you can handle high amounts, but like not everyone can do that. People top out. So, but I found actually sticking to the same sources made it really easy. Just added more to it, essentially.
I,
So
I've always found my sticking point is like I just get lazy with it because I'm heavier and I feel worse. I then can't be asked to cook or proper nutrition, and then that's just down to fucking me being a lazy bastard, really. But you just forget to be on top of it and think, oh well, I'll just have 4 squares bars instead of rice, and it's just like that. Yeah, it's easy to eat at the time, but it
I think
also
when you're busy as well coaching, and then your appetite's gone, 3 hours goes by and you've forgotten to eat because you have no hunger signaling whatsoever, and then you're behind on 2 meals straight away.
yeah, you've always been
After
has to eat a lot and not move much as well.
me,
Yeah,
yeah, I've always had to eat absolutely loads. Yeah, not quite as much as Nick, but I don't have as much muscle as Nick either. But yeah, if I just start walking a little bit more, I'll just drop body weight so easily. But I only have 4 meals a day. I think you're the same, aren't you, Christian?
yeah, I do 4 meals. Yeah,
Even when I'm at peak calories, I'll only have 4 meals a day. I find my appetite's a lot better if I have 4 meals. I'd rather a big meal than small little ones. But I'm like you, Nick. Like I don't get why or how people will add rice cakes to the diet and shit. I would much rather have 25 gram more rice, 50 gram more rice than loads of rice cakes on the side. Like to me, that fills you up a hell of a lot quicker than just eating through the rice.
I
I think
also
that's
found, go on, Ben.
I think that's a good point, like what Nick was saying as well about like using foods that work for you. And like, well, I was experiencing issues eating fucking eggs, but I can eat like a loaf of bread a day and have no issues. People are very like, especially young people, influential about what they see bodybuilders doing. They think they have to eat squares bars, and it might not actually sit well with them, and they're wondering why they're shitting their pants like 10 times a day.
yeah,
I run into loads of issues with eggs with clients, me, especially egg whites. Kills them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eggs is probably when my appetite's gone, eggs is the first thing that I don't want to eat. I will not eat eggs in the off season, really. They send me west.
Cream
It's
of
like you've got to find your limit, haven't you? Like I know I can do 2 whole eggs across a day. That's it.
Yeah.
Anything above that, like I'm fucked. I know about it. But at 2, I can handle it just fine. So I also find that like when I did push food up, going like big meals would be half sweet, half savory. And that was the biggest thing for me because your body, your taste buds aren't bored of it. So you're cramming in like cream of rice. Instead of just having 200 grams of dry white rice, you'd have 100 with chicken breast, and then you'd have 100 cream of rice, so you've got that sweet and savory contrast, and
Seems
it's a
me
lot.
that. It's a good idea, that, yeah.
It just the taste buds don't get bored of it. Like as you get bored of like the savory side, you're like, oh shit, yeah, I've got the sweet. Like the
Pudding.
tip for a normal person is you have a meal, then you have dessert. Do you know what I mean? When you go out for dinner or something, it's the same thing essentially, but it just makes you easy to get food in. So
Feels
So
like
the amount of food Nick consumes is 5 dinners and desserts 5 times a day
yeah, he goes out for dinner every day 5 times basically.
with dessert.
But also
romantic.
the thing with Nick that also keeps his digestion in check is that he would have to be forced to go out for an off-plan meal.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. And but again, that comes down to making your food taste nice as well. If you put a little bit of fucking effort in, it goes a long way. Like if you don't like fucking bread, don't eat bread. Simple as that. And it's just making choices like that that makes you stay on.
You can also just make smarter choices with an off plan. It doesn't need to be something that's just gonna just fry your insides and just leave you on the bog for 5 days. Um, so it's just smarter choices to do everything. There's nothing wrong with an off plan, but realistically as well, Nick, you're probably at the point where with your appetite, you don't even want one anyway.
See, when food's that high, you can't think of anything worse. And you only go for a plan when you can't be bothered to cook.
And you probably drop weight if you have an off plan as well, because it's hard to get that much food in.
Yeah, unless you got a buffet or something, and then
Yeah,
that fucks you. Them anyway.
exactly.
It seems like people think the off plan has to be something fucking outrageous.
It has to be, yeah, you know.
Like it has to be calorific. Like I had someone say to me like before, like, oh, I'm gonna have my high calorie meal this week. It's like you're seeing it so wrong. It's not a fucking high calorie meal. And like you said, like
It's a
people don't want,
binge meal, it's a cheap meal.
yeah,
It's a,
it's just like an organized binge, isn't it?
yeah, an allowed organized binge, yeah.
And then like people are wondering why they're hungry throughout the week or they feel like shit for 3 days after it.
I'm
Like,
7 pounds up in a day. Don't know why my
yeah,
digestion.
like they'll be gluten intolerant all week, then they'll go smash Domino's and Five Guys at the weekend and wonder why they're in bits for 4 days.
It doesn't even have to be like it can still be within your calories, you know? Like it doesn't have to be an untracked meal every single week. It can be an off plan that's tracked.
Well, I do that. I have an off-plan day
Yeah.
where it will be like four, if they have 5 meals a day, there'll be 3 or 4 meals, which are just slightly different. And then a buffer meal at the end. So it'll be like 40 gram of protein and 1,200 calories that they have in that limit. So it does give them the freedom to get what they want, but they still hit macronutrient targets and they've got some kind of control over it rather than just go eat all you can eat Chinese. So they've got that built in and I account for it in the total weekly macros. So I've found that that works really well
I'll
rather than
tell you what
saying like 2 meals or whatever.
annoys me even more so is when someone is on their sheet saying appetite low every single day, gets to Saturday, had a Domino's. Well, your appetite ain't that low then if you've been able to have a Domino's. You fucking mong.
Facts.
Isn't it? That annoys me, man. It's like you can't be that low. If it's low, you would be saying, I don't want an off-plan meal.
Yeah.
So it's not low, put your big boy pants on and eat your food. On the back of this kind of like discussion, um, do you think people grow the same? Let's say you put on the same amount of body weight, yeah, in the same amount of time. One was a free for all and one wasn't. Are they going to grow the same?
So yeah, this was on the video. It was like someone eats 3,000 calories, same amount of protein versus 3,000 calories, same amount of protein. No, they won't grow the same. Well, digestion that we've just covered, training performance, recovery, and oxidative stress and vitamin mineral intake, nothing's going to function the same within the body if you eat like a twat compared to if you eat.
Blood glucose is always going to sit higher. The
Yeah.
higher the blood glucose is sitting, the fatter you're going to get.
Insulin sensitivity's off, recovery's off, training performance, digestion. So no, it's not just calories in versus calories out.
Yeah, I love when people say like all calories are equal. No, they're not. You fucking mong as well. That really pisses me off. Like if someone's like, we get inquiries of people that want to take this like really seriously and want to like really improve and stuff like that. If they're going to an off season with any different kind of mindset than the prep, they've already fucked it, in my opinion. In
If
terms
they
of
want
they
to,
want to go.
yeah.
Yeah. That's not
So,
I'm a militant bastard. I want people to chill and have some downtime and stuff like that. I don't think being robotic 24/7 all year round is a good thing because when you get into prep, you're already burnt out. But like there should be some downtime, but there's also be parameters in place of like you are ticking the boxes like you would on a prep.
I think where people get confused is that downtime is not just a time to, as Ben said, just go binge. Like that doesn't like they're not the same thing. Downtime is not just eating like shit for the sake of it.
Mhm.
I
Like
think
don't
people
come in,
miss. I
you
think
are,
people miss like what it actually is and what you like don't have in prep. And that's
yeah,
like spending time with people.
energy, spending time with people and
Yeah,
relationships.
being
It's
able to
just
talk.
hyper fixation on cookies, which drives me up the wall, rather than like the neglection of your relationships around you and that the amount of energy you have and your ability to function. All they care about is burgers and cookies. It's like you're wired up wrong.
It's like when they've booked their post-show meal before even booking the actual show.
They've hoarded 25 cookie dealers in the freezer since week one.
Haven't booked them.
Yeah,
Haven't
we've all
booked.
done that.
You are.
I said they haven't
We've all
booked
done
them.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nick,
I buy them. They just stay in the freezer until the next prep. I
So
think
if you're going on the other end of that, if you're saying like obviously you don't want people in militant and that, how much do you reckon someone can get away with and still be successful? Like if you're talking taking the piss, but still be closer to the clean 3,000 calories, for example, where do you reckon the threshold lands of that? Like talk hypothetical, don't talk in actuals.
Depends what the genetics are like. I think, unfortunately, you're in a sport, and I suppose any sport to a degree, but I think bodybuilding's probably one of the worst for it, where genetics underpins absolutely everything.
Yeah, because you could have genetically shit digestion, and if you've got genetics that can't digest food, then you're fucked anyway. So it's like,
Like you'll have some cunt that just looks at a protein shake and grows, and looks at a dumbbell, doesn't matter what they eat and grows. Or you'll have someone that has the same work rate, trains the same, but they need to be on 100%. Like,
agreed.
so it does. Genetics underpin everything, but unfortunately, like it's extremely uncommon and rare to be in that 0.001%. So for everyone else, take everything that you possibly can and nail everything. If you want to make maximal progress, then nail everything.
Agreed.
And even then, when you're a genetic elite, if you're taking the piss, once you get to the top and you come up against other pros, so you get your card, whatever, well, then what separates them at the top, because they've all got such similar genetics, is who works harder and who's on plan more, who sticks to it more. So you're
yeah,
always at the point where you will fall short.
you always see those genetic freaks that you know are half-arsing things. They get their pro card, and then when it comes to the stage on a pro show, they get absolutely smoked, or they don't even make it to the show because they're crying in the car about having a binge.
It's true, though.
I think as well, like you're looking at like the people at the top, like they're fucking genetically gifted, and they don't have these fucking wild calorie binges. So like, why are people that are not genetically gifted thinking they're going to get away with it and be successful if they're wanting to take it seriously?
But I think there's a lot.
I think genetics underpins, like, as Nick said, like, you could even have poor digestion, but there's an element of like genetics in how mentally resilient you are and your work rate and your willpower. Like, you need to tick every box to be successful in this game, not just physically genetics. Like, you need to have it all.
Yeah. If you want to do
Well,
really,
when you go back to fundamentals of getting on stage, the one thing that no one can take away from you is your work rate to get peeled, no matter what the genetics are. If you turned up skinned, then you're going to be noted, no matter how much tissue you've got or what.
You're going
People
to
know
get
that.
some level of respect and noted, as you said. So one thing you can control is get skinned. You know, if you can't build muscle, if you've not been in the sport for long, you're not genetically gifted with that. Everyone realistically can get skinned. Get some respect. Like you.
even me. I mean, I got awarded third place twice.
Like last at FitX and Buddy
Jealous.
was
Yes.
You know, when you're getting 3 out of FitX, it's just, great. You're getting noted. They were noting it down. It was 8. All right, not 3. Fuck you. One definitely was up there for a prank because definitely didn't know what bodybuilding was. Um, but yeah, like that's a good point, mate. Like I ain't got the best genetics in the world, but like I remember someone said to me, I think it was Tom Ames. He was like, "Imagine if like Brandon Harding worked as hard as you did." I was like, "Yeah, imagine." But not everything goes hand in hand. Like where he's got elite genetics in that sense, his genetics for sticking to a plan are clearly not that great, unfortunately. But he's still going to do well regardless because he's insane,
Yeah.
which is annoying. But yeah, get skinned, essentially.
In whatever you do.
I'm gonna switch it up because we've kind of covered that now to the next one from Meg. Thanks, Meg. Um,
You can hear
it-
the next one.
Shout out, Meg. Um, is there any such thing as original content in the industry anymore? Everyone copies everyone. How do you make yourself stand apart? And is it annoying to be copied, or is it a compliment that you're influential?
The face.
Face. Right, come on, Tim. You're up.
I
Well,
don't
no,
think the
there isn't
two.
such thing as original content anymore.
You say there isn't?
No.
No. I'm gonna have to put him down. You crack it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. No, there isn't such thing as original content anymore. And that dog looks just loud. Bro, what is his neck thing for?
Right, so he's got a big like open pores and cuts on his leg,
Yeah.
and they've been here for 6 months, 7 months because he won't stop licking them. So the cones to stop him licking his leg.
But he's had it on for about 5 months.
They won't heal. And he's had his arm cut open, they've flushed it out, there's nothing in there, and they won't heal. I was choking now. You're right. Megan, can you call Norman, please? Come on, go see Mum. Yeah, crack
Right,
on.
put on it now, Timmy Brick.
Thank you. Chaos, this podcast, isn't it?
Chaos.
If this is in your ears, this is just hell.
Yeah. So, no, there isn't such thing as original content more, but that shouldn't even think about that. Like, 'cause so many people don't post content because they think, oh, well, someone's already spoke about that. Okay, cool. Well, probably look at another industry, like in the plumbing world, and they've got social media for plumbers. They probably talk about the same fucking things every day, don't they?
How many they're all promoting the bathrooms have done and the boilers have done. Like at the end of the day, someone will be following you that hasn't seen that content before because they don't follow the other person.
Yeah.
So just do it and make sure it's right.
Yeah, and also yours might not be boring compared to the other person. I mean, if it's any of us four, it might be boring, but yeah, someone might like it. So
But you can't, it's just like even like your reel yesterday was not original to the point where everyone does it, but you took a spin on it that you were taking the piss out of it.
yeah,
So it's not technically like completely original because you weren't the first person to do the two-person in the scene thing, but you took your spin on it and took the piss out of it, and that's you.
it went down well.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
doesn't have to be just copying the actual like information within the reel or the actual, the informative part. It can be doing something else with it completely.
yeah. Look, all of us in the industry are going to talk about the same things over and over again. Simple. One thing that differentiates us all, and that's personality, and that's it. And nine times out of 10, if someone's looking for a coach, everyone they're looking at is going to have results. They're going to have experience. They're going to have knowledge. They're going to have all this shit. But if you don't get on with the person, you're probably not going to work well with them. So if you want to get yourself across, how you want to get yourself across, just put your personality on whatever you want to fucking talk about. It doesn't matter if someone spoke about it before. It's so annoying when people stop themselves like, oh yeah, well he posted about it yesterday. Okay. Well, I don't want to work with that guy. I might want to work with you. Do you know what I mean?
Realistically, the only content that's going to come back is if you're someone that's sort of reciting new PubMed studies and shit like that. Like, unless you're that person in the industry, you're not really going to pop out new information that hasn't been done in some way. So, like, there's nothing new to essentially talk about, but what already exists. It's just how you talk about it.
Legit.
So,
Ben?
No, that's right though. Like if you if you only
I
ever
thought you were
allowed to post
muted.
original if you're only ever allowed to post original content, no one would post anything.
Correct. So just fucking stop being a pussy and post your shit. Like I hear it all the time on consults where it's just like, oh, I don't know how to talk about this. Just talk about it. That's how you do it. Fucking hell. If someone doesn't like it, who cares? Oh, fucking hell. Shut up. Or is it annoying to be copied, or is it a compliment that you're influential?
Depends how they copy it. If they take the piss out of you, it's going to be annoying, isn't it? If you're Brendan Harding listening to this, you probably think, fuck these cunts.
Yeah, correct.
So,
I'd say that a lot of people model themselves on you and how you've got successful.
Who are you talking to?
You
They do what? Say it again.
use your model as a method of success.
The sphere.
Yeah,
Sphere.
spherical model.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like when idiots are just saying like, "Yo, people, what's popping?" I'm just like, "Shut up, man."
Yeah, I think people, yeah, see it. I don't know. There's a lot of copying. Whether that's not a good thing or a bad thing, but like they definitely model themselves off you or the foundations of how you've got to where you've become.
Yeah, which is
Just
fine.
being personable and being, and you're open about saying that. But I mean, in terms of the question, I think that you're probably the one that people would copy the most.
Yeah, which like that's fine. Take it as a compliment. Like if they're copying and it annoys me, I'm never gonna like say anything. I mean, I might say something in jest, like, "Oh, fucking hell, bro, that's what I say." Whatever. But I'm like, people have said it to me before. Does this not annoy you that this person does that? I'm like, no, because I'm too busy to fucking care, to be honest. At the end of the day, it's only going to bring more people back to me because they're going to go, oh, he's just copying what Christian says there. And then I'm in the mind again. I'm in the sphere. But yeah, take it as a compliment, not as it's definitely not being influential. I don't think there's anything influential about it, to be honest.
Nah.
No.
And then finally, um, dealing with burnout and coping under pressure as you grow success. How have you navigated these issues and not crumbled under pressure or burnt out as a coach? I can say I've definitely burnt out a fair few times.
Man, mine used to be like every month.
Yeah.
But like I also think you have to get to that point at some stage to know where it is.
Yeah. Know your limit with it. Yeah.
So no,
Also, if you're building a business, right, and you're in your infancy, like I won't be wanting to take holidays and this much time off and this much time off. Like it would be eating away at me that I could be doing more. Until you got to a point where it's like you can not take your foot off the brakes or foot off the gas, but you can have some downtime and then recoup and go again. But I think at the start you just need to just take more on and keep working until you find that threshold and limit.
yeah, I do laugh
that's
sometimes.
going to structure it as well, haven't you? Like if you say you take on loads at start and you don't want to take holidays and that, but like you don't want to burn out. If you structure all your workload over 6 days up instead of seven, you get that seventh day as
Yeah.
you time stop you from burning out. Whereas if you're just going to go 7 days a week, balls to wall, it's all well and good, but you're going to find that burnout very quick and your service is shit like that. So
That's where I
Something I that's something I did is I used to do my check-ins in like 7 days. And even though like you got less check-ins in 7 days, it's like you're still in work. So
Yeah.
like now I've like just condensed the days I'm doing. So I've actually got time off to just not be just doing check-ins. Like, there's obviously still other little bits going on, but you're not doing that check-in stuck to your computer, you know?
yeah.
So I'd rather like push myself hard within a few days and then take a little bit of a step back for a couple.
Yeah, and sometimes remember, like you have to sometimes, work hard
Yeah.
to get what you want. Like I think
That's what I
people,
mean. It don't come easy. You can't just take loads of time off and worry about burnout at the start because you need to just keep going and getting more clients.
I remember at the start, I said to my dad when I was like, it was like the week that I was going to quit my job. I know I was in lockdown anyway, so I wasn't going to work, but I had like 85 clients at that point and I was dying. And I remember I said to my dad, like, if I quit this job, like, I'm just gonna have to like really work like 7 days a week for probably quite a while in some like capacity until like it kind of just like manages itself. And like over that like first 2 years, it's like, yeah, I was doing 7 days a week checking at the start. Then I thought, you know what, I'll take out a Sunday and I'll move some of those people into Saturday. And then I felt better. And then I thought, oh, how about if I just did it over 5 days? I reckon I can do 25, 30 a day on a Monday to Friday, easy. So just move Saturday all into the week as well. And then would have weekends off. And it's like, I only got to that point by actually getting busy, and actually like working hard to get more clients and stuff like that. I think people fail to see that. Like, I've had people on business consults before, and I'm just like, you're afraid of hard work. You just think like it's all going to come next day, fucking easy. And unfortunately, nowadays it doesn't. Granted, I think it was easier fucking 5 or 6 years ago because there wasn't so many cunts doing it.
But
Yeah.
even at the start, like if you're starting off, someone says, I want to check in on Sunday, you go, yeah, sound. Like, you just take
Yeah.
the, you don't go, no, I've got the space on Wednesday, and they go, you just, yeah, okay. Like, and you
Day
just,
one, whatever day, whatever time you want, no time cut off. Check in at
no,
9 if you want, I'll do it.
yeah, you
Yeah,
just got to do that. But that's the same with any business, though, right? At the start, you've just got to do everything you can and put everything in.
that
You
is,
can't have 5, 10 clients and have boundaries, not boundaries, but you can't have like strict rules and this and that. Like, you just got to fucking do it. You've
yeah,
got all the time in the world.
it's such a good point because I've seen people who moan about check-ins not being on time or everything's not filled in, and they think, oh fuck this client. And I'm like, how many clients you got? Oh, 10. Cool. I'll be fucking thanking them for even sending a check-in.
Yeah.
Whether it's late or not, it doesn't matter. But when you build up something for years and years, and people have respect for you when they join you anyway, because they know who you are and they know that there's going to be rules, and you're the boss, like it is your business. But at the start, your clients are your boss at the start. Like 100%. Nick, you're about to say something, were you?
Yeah. I also think you've got to look at it like, well, if you look at it like this, anyone that goes into coaching, they obviously train to a degree. So it's like you know if you don't put effort in when you train, you're gonna get fuck all anyway. So if you just directly take that skill there of being able to train and put the effort in across to coaching, you do the same thing. But people get very like we've probably all done it. Like I know I did at the start where I was putting training first almost for a bit. I'm like, yeah, okay, like whatever. But now it's like, no, actually training's gonna go around the business sort of thing. And it's like people I think misjudged that a lot at the start.
I think
So
anyone that goes into like owning your own business and you're your own boss, you've come from working for someone else. And when you work a normal job, there's going to be days where you have to stay late. And there's going to have to days where you have to start early because that's the demands of the business that you're in. And sometimes the check-ins go way past when I want to be working. But I'm not going to be like, oh, you know what? I'll put them into tomorrow. No, I ain't fucking do that because it's just more work for tomorrow. Just get it done. And might have to train half an hour later. Oh no, fucking big whoop. PCA fucking third place first timers. I ain't worried. You know what I mean?
well,
So, but the burnout thing is real. And that's just, I think people don't, first, I think people burn out quicker when they haven't actually got a grip of their business and what it demands. So they're not in a good spot with that and being organized. Like I'm like OCD organized with how my work is, and that's why I don't burn out as much as I used to. But I also, as well, when it's the weekend, man, if my phone goes off, fucking it annoys me because I'm trying to take downtime.
This is what I was going to say. People don't understand that. Like last night, I had 3 different clients message me between 11 and half 11 at night, sending me either a photo or sending me some kind of update. Now, that's normally caveated with a no rush to get back with me, or I don't expect a reply. However, seeing the message puts me back in work mode and makes me think about it. So that's ruined my downtime. So, like you said at the weekend, if you are going out with Georgie or you're going out for the day and you've got downtime, just being peppered and having that through and having to even read the messages and not reply is still ruining the downtime and putting you back into work mode, which just people don't understand. Like you wouldn't message anyone else at 11 at night. You wouldn't message fucking your boss on Saturday or at 11 at night, would you?
I saw this today actually on someone's close friend story. I won't say it was, but fuck me, it killed me. He put on his close friends. He's a coach. He's one of my clients, and a client had messaged him at 11:45 at night. A picture of his passport saying, "Bro, my passport's got a bit of a rip in it. Do you know if I'll be able to fly on this or not?" Like the guy's border control
Yeah, but how many of them do you get?
Yeah,
How many do they think we are? Like literally an encyclopedia about everything. And it's like, what the fuck?
yeah, I've
They're
had to.
fucking mental, aren't they? I swear the general public sometimes are fucking mental.
Yeah, I just be like, yeah, man, you can fly on that, no stress.
You could probably fly the plane, bro.
Yeah, I'm also the pilot, so I'll just let him on. I'm flying it that day. I'll let you on. Fucking joke, man. Hilarious. But Ben,
That's good.
typical ways to reduce your burnout, that you use yourself or
It's just
work
be,
by. Hmm?
I think it is getting to that point where it's like, as you said, early on when I was starting off, it was just like working hours around replying, if it's 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, whatever it is. But I think it's just like as you get deeper into it and you get busier, like you said, you get the respect, it's setting boundaries. It's trying to stick them boundaries is a different thing. But it's like, kind of like these are my work hours. And it's reasonable, right? You're like, I'm working 5 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any coach that says like 24-hour, 4/7 WhatsApp sport, bullshit. You're not replying at 1, 2 o'clock when you're sleeping here. So
Well,
I think
I remember back in the day, I used to say 24 hours and shit, and this was maybe 4 years ago. And it was a Saturday, and I'd gone down to London to a Travis Scott concert, and it's like 8, 9 at night at the O2. And I had a client peppering me, and I'm like, fuck off at this concert. And then I replied like, mate, and he replied back like, but you told me it was 24/7 support. And I was like, bro, are you for real?
Got yourself in the foot there, bro.
Pissed up half a gram deep at Travis Scott, and I've got to reply to this guy about a rash. Say,
yeah, I think it's that like setting boundaries, but like actually making clients aware of it. And then because if you haven't made them aware of it, you can't be angry at them if they message you and you haven't told them like I actually work in between these times, So it's that. And then I think a big one I see like people, especially the coaches that coaches, like they don't do anything else other than bodybuilding coaching. Like that's all they fucking do. Like yeah, bodybuilding is a hobby, but it's almost your job too. So if you're just doing those two things, it's gonna become repetitive. So like for me, it's like taking yourself away and doing something fucking different at least once a week. Like it doesn't, and that doesn't have to revolve around eating a shit ton of food, by the way.
yeah,
That can be doing something different. That's just not
you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet once a week, do you? Yeah.
Down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Especially, it can you live and breathe bodybuilding from 5 a.m. till you go to bed. And even your downtime in the day is going to the gym to bodybuild. I think having something else out there, if some people don't need it, but I think having at least something else slightly out there is a good way to detach a little bit, definitely.
Some people will literally just live and breathe it and they're fine with it, but the majority of people I find need something different.
Yeah. I'm sure even them, they like MMA or boxing, or they watch something, or they watch football. Like there is something that you can get into and detach a little bit from, as opposed to just being your work and your hobby. They can either go like the gel, or they can like repel one. Like I fell out of love with training for a long period of time because the gym was just an extension of my work, because clients were there as well, and it just became so tedious for me. I couldn't get any work done in the gym, and I was still just working at work. And it's like, it's another thing of like, well, if you've got loads of clients in the gym, they need to realize that it's your time in the gym as well. This is your hour or 2 hours to train. So that's why I built the garage. But yeah, I think it can easily become tedious, and it can make you hate it if you're not careful with how you structure things.
Yep. And sometimes you have to be a bit of a ruthless cunt.
Yeah.
And if the person doesn't understand that, okay, well, that's not my problem, that's yours.
No.
Yeah. But it's rare that you have
I also think that touches back to you can't be a ruthless cunt in your early days.
Yeah, then you get into that, and then but then if you're with that client a while, it's like, well, you didn't have a problem with it a year ago.
Yeah. But I think you got to own it, don't you? Like you can't just sit there and be like, right, okay, yeah, you can't. I'm not responding to you. You stop taking the piss. It's 8:30 at night. Like you can't say that when you've got 3 clients to check in that day. You know what I mean? So
You should be on them at 8:31 if they send you a message.
Yeah. No, you should.
It's true. True, because there is no excuse. Like, I've got messages sat there ready to be replied to, but I've been on a podcast for an hour, so I can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? People with free clients probably ain't on podcast. Really, let's be real. That's all the topics, and it's him.
I think that's it. Yeah, she only gave us 3, didn't she?
Not a great effort. She needs to know that she can't be like that at the start of the career of podcasting.
Yeah.
Needs to put more effort in there.
No, that was a good app, that.
Yeah. Should we break some news to people that we spoke about just before we hopped on with Nick? Was that too much pressure, Nick?
What's pressure?
Oh, that's what
I
I
thought you were going to say some other news then. Okay.
Happily pull out game, no issues.
Right, so Nick is potentially 11 and 13 weeks out. 11 from the most prestigious bodybuilding event of the whole of Australia, NABBA.
Is it in a pub?
It's in Carlton.
Is it in a pub or is it in an actual auditorium?
It'd probably be in a fucking library or something, knowing them.
Social, like a working man's club or something, yeah.
Yeah. Literally in a fucking, with a fucking backdrop of from 1932 that Lee Priest posed in front of. So, but yeah, potentially. If health is wealthy, then we're good. Good to go. If not, just pull out. Pretend it never happened.
What shows have got lined up apart from NABBA?
And then you got season A IFBB. I think it's 2 weeks after that, and then Touchwood to be nationals. I think it's a week after that, if that all goes well, in all categories.
Are you genuinely going to enter them all?
It'd be the first time, would it? But I don't know. I done shit on them all last time, so it doesn't really make any difference, does it? Just see where we can finish the least shittest.
You can't do men's physique.
You're not doing men's. No.
What weight cap?
What's your weight cap for men's physique? Not 119 kilo.
I don't even think my waist can fit in some shorts anymore.
What is it for classic? 112?
100, no, 108, I think.
108, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
You might have to do bodybuilding, mate.
I'd rather bodybuilding. What's the point of being small?
Yeah, good, because I don't think you'll be able to get to 108, mate. You're 119 today, and you're pretty fucking lean.
And are you cruising?
Yeah, cruising is pushing for me.
Yeah, well, what's total load now? 400 mig?
250 as of today. So yeah, not much.
You're not going to make classic, really, I don't think.
No, you never know, do you? Weight could
There's
fall
always
off.
more to come off than what it seems, but
Yeah.
I think you'd lose a lot of what you've built. I think it would be a stretch to get you in that cap.
Yeah, and just, when you're a bit taller, well, you can go stringy real quick. So if it's not, look, I'd probably rather do bodybuilding because that's what bodybuilding is better at. But just see where it lands, see where the chips land.
Yeah, I think you'll be doing bodybuilding, mate, to be honest.
So fine by me.
You not fancy coming back over here and doing some shows over here?
Yeah, flights weren't £5,000. So
I think you're scared.
Maybe don't enter every category, save your money there, and then get on the flight.
I think you're also scared to meet Finn Kelly again in competition.
He's just ready to go at any point.
can I get to the same weight cap as him though?
I doubt it.
That might be a stretch.
Bro, he'll just do your weight cap and still win.
Fuck off, Tim.
No, it's going to be fun because we're going to have to it's quite cool because even you're the same body weight now, Nick, as you probably were 4 or 5 weeks ago, but your blood pressure was probably twice as high.
And the rest, yeah. Everything else skyrocket.
Yeah. So it's cool to actually improve someone's health at the same time, which is, unusual for us.
Yeah.
And
And
what measures have you taken to do that?
first and foremost, got obviously all my meds in. That's a good start. And then just I've tweaked cardio, put a bit more hip work in. Training to train changed drastically as well. It's a lot more lower volume approach. So it's just more, I'm just pulling out. More just straight working sets, no fucking around doing like load of fluff work essentially. That and then just being consistent, really. Not really changing anything, have we? Like,
Not taking as many drugs as we were before, obviously, but we did that a while back now.
yeah, but you got to think that full push where my drugs were fake. I had no drugs in.
So that's actually a good point, yeah.
So essentially for the last, what, 38 weeks, I've had no more than 200 testing. So,
Yeah. You're 19 kilo up from your show season last time.
yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And a completely different rig.
Yeah, it is, to be fair. And the bigger you've got, the better your proportions of look.
Yeah.
The less ugly your physiques look, the bigger you've got, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I can hide
Your
more.
waist kind of reached its capacity years ago, and now it's kind of stayed, and then everything else is growing around it now. It looks it's like you've suited your frame now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, the bigger you've got.
Mm.
Like way more aesthetic the bigger you've got, which is normally the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then that goes back to what we started with, though. I got my digestion on point about 2 years ago, and since then, it's made a massive difference. That just shows the importance of not cramming McDonald's in every day.
Yeah. Or accidentally having Dianabol instead of Superdrol.
Yeah, or 3 grams of Deca instead of
Yeah.
600 max.
When we were at that FitX show, bro, and you're like, yeah, I took that Superdrol about half an hour ago. My ankles are full of fluid. Yeah, decent.
Yeah. And then put them on that table, and it was just fucking the indent was about that thick, wasn't it, in the skin? So, yeah.
And then
Again,
update on Ben is 86 weeks out. He just doesn't know because I haven't told him the show we're doing, but he's about 86 weeks out.
Gives me time.
do not have a dip in platinum.
But update on Ben is Ben's absolutely fucking massive. Like Tim in person, he's fucking stupid in it.
Yeah. He's photos are deceivingly small. Yeah, you're way bigger in person.
Yeah, it's
Not a
hilarious.
bad thing. It's usually the other way around.
It is, yeah. It's not a bad thing, to be fair.
I mean, even I said it to Ben on his check-in. George is the harshest critic in the world, but she came out there and she was like, "Fucking hell, his legs are massive now." I was like, "Yeah." So that's been fucking optimal. Biggest thing to take away from this push-up so far, Ben, digestion, probably.
Just in check.
Yeah.
Been a common theme in this podcast, hasn't it? Worked out well.
Decent. Sweet. Okay. Huh?
I said, right then, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Okay. Wrapped up. See ya. Yeah, thanks for listening. If you've listened or watched or whatever, we'll get this uploaded ideally tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be a weekly thing.